Hey guys, it's Michael. I've been seeing a lot of concerns out there about the stock market and should I invest right now or should I wait? And there's two different viewpoints on this right now. One group of investors is saying hold on to your money as tight as you can, don't invest it and wait until the stock market crashes, then you can buy it at the low. And the other group of investors is saying buy now, buy everything you can. It's a great buying opportunity because stocks are at a discounted price from all-time highs earlier in the year. And both of these sides have good points, but today what I'm going to do is I'm going to address the biggest mistakes you can make as an investor right now, and then I'm going to go into these two different viewpoints. The one which is to hold on to your money as tight as you can and wait until the stock market crashes, and the other one which is to buy all your stocks, buy now. Before we get started, it says that 95% of you watching this video are not subscribed to my channel. So if you'd like to stay up to date on the stock market, on the news, on how to make money in general, well then please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when new videos come out. Anyways, before we get into each of the viewpoints and the biggest mistakes you can make, let's go over the background of what exactly is going on in the stock market right now. So right now, the S&P 500 just came off its biggest month in decades, in nearly 3 decades, and it was the biggest April in 82 years. The stock market was up 30% since lows earlier in March. And this was fueled by all the stimulus checks and all the policies going around there to be giving people stimulus money. So this is why the stock market has been going up. On the other hand though, unemployment is at an all-time high. There's nearly 30 million Americans that have filed for unemployment in the last 6 weeks. So you may be thinking, why is the stock market up 30% when there's been 30 million people who have filed for unemployment? And right, a lot of people are wondering the same thing. But you have to remember that the prices in the market right now represent how people feel about the future of the economy. It's not what's happening right now. And the other thing is that markets aren't rational. Every time we think we know exactly what's going on in the stock market, we don't. It's not rational. It doesn't follow what you think would happen. So that's April. April was great. But now May. The first day of May, which was Friday, May 1st, the stock market was down nearly 3%, and it wiped out all the gains of that week. And why is this? Well, there was a string of companies that reported earnings on Thursday and Friday of last week, and some of them missed their earnings marks. Other ones beat it. But the big thing is that a lot of the companies reported profit warnings to come. So Amazon said it's going to be spending all of its profits on coronavirus relief, so that's not a good thing for investors. And then other companies said they can't even project their profits moving forward because they don't know what's going to happen with the coronavirus and it's not going to be good. And then on top of all this, President Trump threatened China with more tariffs because of the coronavirus, and he believes that they have more insight on what started the coronavirus and that it started there and they could have prevented it more. So those are the two things that are causing the stock market to go down at the beginning of the month. Okay, so that's enough of all that background. All we care about is how to make money. How can we make money investing? Should we wait? Should we invest now? So let's go over the two different viewpoints on the stock market right now. The first is that you should wait. You should not invest your money right now because the stock market may crash again. And that is true. It's possible that the stock market may crash again. One thing to keep an eye out for right now to see if the stock market might crash is how the reopening of states go. With over 31 states set to reopen this week, a lot can go wrong, but also a lot could go right. So if the state's reopening and it goes well, then the stock market's going to continue to go up and it's going to continue to profit. However, if states start seeing more cases and more deaths than they had before and they have to shut down again, well then that's going to be really bad for the stock market and stock prices will crash if people have to go back into lockdown. So is it better to hold off right now? Well, it's never a good thing to just have no money invested at all. Warren Buffett sold off $6.1 billion in airline stocks in the last month, and he announced this in his shareholder meeting yesterday. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have any money invested in the stock market. So if you're someone who doesn't want to have anything invested, that's probably not the best idea. And according to Warren Buffett, you never should have bet against America. Right now there's a lot of uncertainty, but you still shouldn't bet against the American economy according to Warren Buffett. He thinks it's still good to invest in companies. There's just some companies where their business models have changed because of the coronavirus, for example, with airline stocks, and other companies that have been severely affected by the coronavirus. But in reality, when you invest in a stock, you shouldn't invest for short-term profits. You need to invest because you believe in the company long-term. So if the stock market goes down 30% tomorrow, it shouldn't matter with your stocks because you're invested in those companies because you think they will do well 30 years from now, 40 years from now. And if you think companies will do well 30 or 40 years from now, it doesn't matter if they go down 10% in a day. You know, you'd like to catch it at that low point, but ultimately, it doesn't matter, and you cannot predict what is going to happen in the market. So really, you have to go based off of what you think is going to do well, what stocks you believe in. Because if you try and predict it, you're going to lose every single time. Moving on, let's go into the other group of investors, which wants to put all of their money into stocks. Everything they see, they're like, this is a great deal. It's discounted price from earlier in the year and all-time highs earlier in February. And yes, this is true. Stocks are lower than they were earlier in the year in February. And while it may be a good thing to put money into some companies, other companies right now have been severely affected by the coronavirus, and it's not a good time to invest. For example, even Warren Buffett, he took out all of his stake in the airline industry when he recently had just put more money into them. And that's unlike what he would normally do. He normally invests in a company and keeps his money there for years and decades. But this time he invested money into airline stocks, and then he ended up taking it out again within a fairly short period of time. So you have to look at what investments you have or want to invest in and ask yourself, are these companies that are going to be doing well 30, 40, 50 years from now, are they the best investments for me? Or are there other companies that may have more opportunities right now? Ultimately, there's a lot of good companies out there right now that are great investments. You just have to look at them and determine which ones do you think will be around 30 years from now? Which one do you think are run by good managers? Which one do you think have a lot of potential? So finally, let's go into the biggest mistakes you can make as an investor. So if you have money right now that you're looking to invest, the biggest mistake you can make is not follow what's going on with the reopening of states. Because if states start to reopen and then all of a sudden cases spike and states have to shut down again, that's going to be a huge problem, and that's going to cause the stock market to crash. It's going to cause it to go down significantly if states have to shut down again, because if they shut down again, they're not going to be shutting down for 2 months. They're going to have to shut down for 6 to 8 months, and it's going to be a lot longer of a time if things don't work out. On top of this, you also have to look at what's going on in the news, because President Trump, if he starts putting more tariffs on China, if things do go well, that can also cause the stock market to start to drop again. So ultimately, if you want to invest your money right now, you have to make sure you're aware of everything that's going on. You always have to be aware, but right now especially, one tweet, one article about a state having to reclose can change everything. It can cause stock market prices to plummet. So you have to make sure you're aware of what's going on if you want to start investing money right now. But ultimately, you have to know that there's no way to predict if the market's going to go up or if it's going to go down. There's two sides to this right now. People are investing, people are trying to wait. The people who are waiting might wait forever and it might not drop within the next 6 months. We could just, start entering a bull market. Or the people who are investing right now, they could lose a lot of money because the stock market can crash. We have to remember that the stock market isn't rational. We can't predict what's going to happen. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That's just a summary of what is going on. Don't forget to check out our links down below and join our Power of Finance Investors group, as well as our Discord community chat. Also, don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. 1 free stock when you sign up for Robinhood. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.